We are about to embark on a special journey together, not just to tell the story of a country, but to weave an epic tale of resilience, love, and unwavering faith in the future. This is the story of Venezuela, a radiant gem that once shone brightly in South America, now facing the harshest challenges of our time. Yet, from the poorest streets and the most remote villages, Venezuelans are igniting flames of hope, writing a new chapter for their nation every day. Prepare yourself, because these 30 facts about Venezuela will take you through a roller coaster of emotions, from awe to heartache, to inspiration, and a belief that no matter how deep the darkness, light always comes to those who never give up. Imagine a Venezuela of the 1950s to 1970s, where Caracas gleamed like a modern masterpiece. Skyscrapers rose, neon lights dazzled, and streets buzzed with shiny cars. With the world's largest oil reserves, Venezuela was South America's economic powerhouse, a land of dreams. Millions from Brazil, Italy, Spain, and beyond flocked here, chasing a better life. Movie theaters were packed, cafes echoed with laughter, and children played in lush parks. Everyone believed the future would only grow brighter. Though crises have dimmed that glory, this memory endures, a reminder that Venezuela can, and will, shine again. Picture going to bed with 1,000 bolivars in your pocket, only to wake up and find it's worth just one candy. At the peak of the crisis, Venezuela's hyperinflation reached millions of percent annually, rendering the bolivar worthless. A simple meal could cost tens of millions of bolivars, and people carried sacks of cash to markets. The government printed money uncontrollably, devaluing it by the minute. Yet Venezuelans didn't surrender. They switched to US dollars, bartered rice for cooking oil, and crafted art from worthless bills, hand-woven baskets, unique collages. This creativity was the first spark of hope. Nearly 82% of Venezuelans live below the poverty line, with over half in extreme poverty. With minimum wages of just a few dollars a month, many families face a heart-wrenching question: who eats today? Mothers skip meals to give their children scraps, and children grow frail from malnutrition. Yet amidst the suffering, humanity shines. In the Pedder slum, a group of women run a community kitchen, cooking soup from potatoes and carrots to feed hundreds daily. Neighbors share single onions or bags of cornmeal. This is proof that, no matter how harsh the crisis, Venezuelan hearts overflow with compassion. Imagine walking into a supermarket to find empty shelves. No rice, no milk, no meat, just a few overpriced cans of beans. Government price controls halted production, causing severe shortages. People queue from 3 a.m. for a bag of flour, only to hear it's sold out. But Venezuelans don't give up. They grow vegetables in pots, raise chickens in kitchens, and organize barter markets. In a village near the border, a farmer shared his entire sweet potato harvest with neighbors, believing no one should go hungry. If food scarcity is a tragedy, the lack of medicine is a nightmare. Basic drugs like antibiotics, insulin, or blood pressure pills are nearly non-existent. Patients die from treatable illnesses. Hospitals lack gauze, syringes, even electricity for machines. Yet Venezuelans keep fighting. Volunteer pharmacists craft herbal remedies. Organizations like Caracas send medical aid. In Caracas, a doctor walked 20 kilometers to deliver insulin to a diabetic patient, refusing to let them die. Every pill tells a story of hope. Venezuela has one of the highest crime rates in the world. Walking Caracas streets at night feels like a gamble. Robbery, kidnapping, and murder are common, with some police and military involved in corruption. But amid chaos, people rise. In the Porcaria neighborhood, mothers run soccer classes to steer youth from gangs. Street artists paint murals of peace, turning gray walls into symbols of hope. Venezuelans believe that by uniting, they can build a safer nation. Teachers in Venezuela earn less than $10 a month, not enough for a kilo of meat. Many schools close, lacking desks, books, or electricity. Yet teachers persevere. Some walk hours to teach in crumbling classrooms, unpaid, because they believe in their students' future. In a small village, teacher Rosa turned her yard into a classroom, teaching 30 children to read with old chalk. Parents and students don't give up either, studying with torn books, handwritten lessons, and spotty internet. Knowledge is something no one can steal, and Venezuelans guard it fiercely. Venezuela holds the world's largest oil reserves, yet paradoxically, people queue for weeks for gasoline. Refineries are paralyzed by neglect, outdated technology, and corruption. A nation rich in oil imports fuel, a surreal truth. But potential remains. Young Venezuelan engineers, despite scarcity, innovate in the oil sector. Economists propose reforms to revive the industry, create jobs, and boost the economy. Juan, a 22-year-old engineering student, designed an energy-efficient refinery model using an old laptop. Oil could unlock Venezuela's future. Corruption in Venezuela is an invisible monster, infiltrating everything from top officials to daily tasks. Need a passport? Pay a bribe. Want clean water? Pay another. But people aren't silent. Journalists risk their lives exposing scandals. Youth use social media to spread truth despite censorship. In Maracaibo, women protested at City Hall, demanding transparency in food distribution. They have no weapons, only courage. The fight for justice grows, and every voice moves Venezuela closer to transparency. Officially, Venezuela is led by the government, but in reality, the military and pro-government armed groups, called colectivos, control many areas. They suppress dissent and spread fear. Yet people resist. Peace movements grow, with youth hosting democracy workshops, mothers calling for dialogue, and even former soldiers opposing injustice. In a poor neighborhood, teens persuaded a local gang to stop violence by organizing a community basketball tournament. The Venezuelan spirit of freedom is a fire that cannot be extinguished. Elections in Venezuela are rigged, with voter suppression, fraud, and threats against opposition voters. Yet people persist. They line up at dawn to vote, knowing change is unlikely. Opposition leaders, though persecuted, inspire with powerful speeches. Venezuelans use social media to share their stories globally. An 80-year-old woman walked 5 kilometers to vote, wanting her grandchildren to live in a free country. Democracy may be stifled, but the people's will cannot be broken. Public transportation in Venezuela is nearly collapsed. Buses are rare, dilapidated, and often out of fuel. Many walk dozens of kilometers to work or school. Some cram into unsafe trucks, standing in scorching heat for hours. But they don't stop. Communities repair old buses, organize shared bikes, and create safe walking routes. In a small town, drivers donated fuel to run a free bus for students. Every step, every wheel declares, "We will keep moving forward." Over 7 million Venezuelans have left their homeland, crossing deserts, jungles, and borders for a better life. They work in Colombia, Brazil, the US, or anywhere, sending every penny back home. Maria, a single mother, left Venezuela to clean houses in Peru, sending $50 monthly, enough for food for her 2 children in Caracas. Migrants seek not just their own dreams, but hope for their homeland. They bridge Venezuela to the world, bringing back money and ideas to rebuild. Amid crisis, Venezuelans show the world the power of unity. In slums, housewives run soup kitchens, feeding dozens with scarce ingredients. Young volunteers build makeshift schools from wood and tin. In a village, youth held a music festival to raise food donations, dancing, laughing, reminding everyone joy persists. Each small act is a brick in the future, and Venezuelans lay them with all their heart. Despite crisis, Venezuelan culture thrives. Salsa music fills streets, the aroma of fresh arepas wafts from tiny kitchens, and traditional dances help people forget hardship. Artists like Oscar de Leon carry Venezuelan music worldwide, showing the nation is more than suffering. In Caracas, street dance groups teach kids for free, bringing joy amid poverty. Children in a slum perform the joropo dance, smiling like the sun. Culture binds Venezuelans, and it will be the foundation for rebuilding. Venezuelan women are unsung heroes. They queue at dawn for food, care for families in scarcity, and lead community movements. Ana, a mother in Maracaibo, turned her yard into a vegetable garden, feeding her family and neighbors. Women also fight injustice, organize protests, and teach their children about freedom. In a poor neighborhood, women formed a sewing cooperative, creating jobs for dozens. They are Venezuela's backbone, and they will lead the nation forward. Venezuelan youth grow up in crisis but don't lose faith. Many learn coding on old phones, dreaming of becoming tech engineers. Student groups hold workshops on democracy, the environment, and entrepreneurship. At a university, young friends invented an app connecting farmers to consumers, easing food access. They work on outdated laptops in powerless rooms but dream of a modern, prosperous Venezuela. They are the generation that will rewrite the nation's story. Venezuelan children are tiny warriors of hope. Many grow up in poverty, without schools or toys, but their smiles shine. In the San Agustin slum, kids play soccer with a ball made of rags, laughing as if hardship doesn't exist. Community groups hold art classes, teaching kids to paint and sing, keeping dreams alive. Sophia, a 10-year-old, painted a Caracas with skyscrapers and a clear river, saying, "One day, my city will look like this." Children are the future, planting seeds for a new Venezuela. Despite economic collapse, a new generation of entrepreneurs emerges. They open small shops, selling homemade bread or home-roasted coffee. Young tech startups create apps to connect buyers and sellers in a scarce market. Carla, a 25-year-old, opened a bakery in Valencia, using local ingredients for affordable, delicious cakes. She hired 3 unemployed neighbors, giving them income. These entrepreneurs prove that entrepreneurial spirit can revive a nation. Religion is a great comfort for Venezuelans. Churches, though scarce, open daily, where people pray and share. Priests and pastors distribute food, teach children, and mediate between opposing groups. In a small village, a priest walked dozens of kilometers to deliver food to flood-isolated families. Faith not only helps people endure but motivates them to help each other. the economic crisis has devastated Venezuela's environment. Forests are destroyed by illegal gold mining, and Lake Maracaibo, once a natural jewel, is heavily polluted by oil spills. But Venezuelans don't stand idle. Environmental activists, despite danger, fight to protect nature. In Amazonas, indigenous groups replanted thousands of trees to restore forests. Youth organize beach and river cleanups. They believe a revived Venezuela needs not just a strong economy, but a healthy environment. Venezuelan cuisine is integral to its culture. Despite scarce ingredients, people make traditional dishes like arepas, cachapas, and pabellón criollo. In slums, housewives invent recipes from limited resources, like bread from yuca flour. In a village, women held a food festival, sharing dishes and stories. Cuisine nourishes not just the body but preserves identity and spreads joy. Music is Venezuela's heart. From salsa to merengue to joropo, it echoes everywhere, from poor streets to community festivals. In Caracas, young musicians formed a symphony orchestra with old instruments, performing free concerts. Music isn't just entertainment, it heals wounds, unites communities, and dreams of a better future. A song can melt sorrow, and Venezuelans know this better than anyone. Venezuela is home to stunning natural wonders: Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall, the majestic Andes, and the lush Amazon. Despite crisis, these landscapes remain a source of pride. Local guides, though resource scarce, lead tourists through pristine regions. In Bolivar, youth organize ecotourism hikes to boost community income. Nature is Venezuela's gift, and its people protect it like their future. The world hasn't abandoned Venezuela. Organizations like the UN, Caritas, and NGOs send food, medicine, and educational aid. Neighbors like Colombia and Brazil welcome migrants, offering jobs and shelter. In Europe and the US, Venezuelan communities raise funds, sending tons of relief home. A container from Spain arrived in Caracas with milk powder and antibiotics, distributed by tireless volunteers. This support proves Venezuela isn't alone, and the world believes in its revival. Over 7 million Venezuelans have left, but they don't forget their roots. In Miami, a group founded a nonprofit, raising funds to build schools in Caracas. In Bogotá, migrants open Venezuelan restaurants, introducing arepas and pabellón criollo while sending money home. They're not just survivors, they're Venezuela's ambassadors, spreading culture and hope worldwide. Technology is a lifeline for Venezuela. Despite spotty internet, youth use social media to share stories, seek aid, and learn skills. Programmers in Valencia developed an app to find affordable food nearby. In a slum, a young man taught dozens of kids to code on an old laptop. Technology bridges Venezuela to the world, and its people use it to build a better future. From slums to remote villages, Venezuelans rebuild daily. Activists demand free elections. Mothers teach children unity. Kids plant trees and sing, Venezuela will bloom. In a poor neighborhood, youth held an outdoor concert, dancing and dreaming of a brighter tomorrow. They believe in dawn, and they will light it. Venezuela's story is a lesson in human strength. From slums to distant villages, Venezuelans rewrite their history with courage, creativity, and love for their homeland. But this journey isn't theirs alone, it's ours too. What do you think of this story? Can Venezuela reclaim its glory? Share your thoughts below. If you want to make a difference, explore organizations like Caracas, UNHCR, or groups aiding Venezuelan migrants. Every small act, a donation, a share, can change lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and spread the story of a Venezuela that never gives up. Dawn is coming, and we can be part of it.